First, I want to invite to the stage Boudewijn Poelmann of the United Postcode Lotteries, Marieke van Schaik of the Dutch Postcode Lotteries, Rupert of the Marine Stewardship Council, Kumi Naidoo of Greenpeace, and Allard Stapel of the World Wildlife Fund of the Netherlands. Oceans regulate the Earth's climate. They are the main source of food and livelihoods for hundreds of millions of people, and they are afflicted today by a combination of climate change, overfishing, and various kinds of pollution, from oil spills to massive clumps of garbage floating in larger and larger units across the world. Fundamental ecosystems, including the Great Barrier Reef, are facing real crisis, and as many as 80% of marine fisheries are now overexploited, as more than 1 billion people depend upon fish as their main source of protein. And the last 2 years, for the first time in history, more fish consumed were actually raised by fish farmers than grew naturally in the oceans, rivers, lakes, and streams of the world, raising a whole set of other challenges. Oceans are our common responsibility, and these partnerships exemplify the kind of collaboration we will need to revitalize them. The partners have committed to reach 3.5 million people with a global public awareness campaign about the man-made threat to our oceans. They'll launch a $9 million 2-year initiative to protect ocean areas, alleviate overfishing, protect endangered species. By promoting sustainable seafood certified by the Marine Stewardship Council to companies and consumers, they will also provide long-term solutions to make a positive impact on people's everyday life. Now, I also want to mention Judith Stewart of the Great Barrier Reef Foundation. If she's here, I want her out on the stage, because this is very important. The foundation commits to create a 10-year, $60 million bond in partnership with KPMG and Goldman Sachs to fund research and interventions to help the coral reefs adapt to climate change. Increased ocean productivity and the protection of species and habitats will be paid for by interest and capital repayments generated by increases in levies and taxes on those who use the Great Barrier Reef. Solutions will be shared with the people who manage the reef, users, and policymakers around the world to ensure that communities who depend upon reefs for livelihoods will be equipped to fight climate change. And that includes the Northern Hawaiian Islands, the Great Reef off Belize, and many others around the world. The conditions are all frighteningly similar. So we owe these people a lot. Give them a big hand. It's a great commitment. Thank you.